Hey everyone, I'm NornQueenAlexis and welcome back to the channel. And welcome to this updated rules for the Harlequins, which personally I didn't think needed an update because they're a pretty powerful army as is, especially Veiled Path, which I think is really good. This army is actually pretty intense as it is. As somebody who's been on the receiving end of a 36-inch moving jet transport thing that can fire 6 meltaguns out of it, it is pretty scary, to be honest. Harlequins were always a tough matchup for me because their speed, maneuverability, and the damage output that they had. But I guess they weren't being played as much, so now they're being buffed. Okay, let's dive into this and see what they're doing. So this is coming from the new White Dwarf, which was supposed to come out, I think, last month. But due to the gifts of Nurgle, we are currently not receiving anything from GW until, well, a few more days. I think they've reopened their web stores. Yeah. So. Let's dive into this. Next month's White Dwarf sees the Eldari dance their way into the Psychic Awakening with a host of new rules, stratagems, and enigmas of the Black Library. Oh, that's actually kind of cool. I wonder if they're going to mention Ephriel Stern. I really hope they mention Ephriel Stern. That would be really cool. Because if you guys don't know, Ephriel Stern was in the Black Library. So, yeah. Get on the dance floor. Love it. So we do get them fighting Slaneshi demons and harlots alike. Now, one thing that's kind of bugging me a little bit is the fact that they're fighting and they're in a White Dwarf instead of in the Codex or the Psychic Awakening properly. So it's not going to be as much as we saw with the Deathwatch, which they barely got anything. But apparently these rules are powerful. I've been seeing tweets and mentions of them being very, very, very strong. So let's see what they got. Each character in the Harlequin army now has access to these rules, special rules, which allow you to make their data sheet and da-da-da-da-da-da. Okay, so you can change your troop masters, your what are their HQs? What are their HQs? Hold up. I know this. See, I totally remembered right off the top of my head. It's one of the smallest codexes there is. So, let's go to their HQs really quickly. Wow, I forgot they only have like 4 pages of rules. Holy cow. I think I just passed the rules by accident. It's just Troop Masters, Shadow Seers, Solitaires, and that's it. So we got the Troop Master, the Shadow Seer. So far, two of two. Oh, wow, that's it. They only have 2 HQs. Huh. For some reason, I thought oh, yeah, the Solitaire's an elite, isn't he? Yeah, there he is, as an elite. But it still means that he has access to these as well. So does the Death Jester. Let's see, the Star Weavers, those ridiculously overpowered jet bikes. Webway Gate, which is kind of neat. Star Weavers and Void Weavers, which I never really see Void Weavers in battle. Are they the transport one? No, they're not. The other one's the transport one, I believe. Yep. Okay. So let's see how crazy they can make a Solitaire now, because Solitaires are intense. They are one of the hardest things to fight up against. They're just melee characters that just kill everything. They're amazing. Each time this model fights, after it has fought, you can select one enemy unit this model has made an attack against. That unit suffers 2 mortal wounds. What? Okay, so if this guy crashes into multiple characters, he can direct one attack at the character and then direct the rest of his attacks or her attacks, because this book is not, it includes all genders. But you can direct all of your attacks but one at one unit, one HQ, one captain, one character, and kill it. Then you can put the 3 wounds on the other one and kill it. Because it just says after each time this model fights, after it has fought, you can select one enemy unit that this made an attack against. Not even a successful attack. Just an attack. Even if you fail to hit and wound, even though you just made that attack, that attempt at an attack at it, you deal 2 mortal wounds, which can be a huge game changer. Like, as somebody who runs around with characters that have only 4 wounds or 3 wounds, this is insane. Like, you can snipe an assassin really quickly with this. This is the perfect finisher off of any enemy lucky enough to have survived the initial assault or being added extra damage to a large target. Meanwhile, the Shadow Seer can replace their shield from arm ability. Okay. So this one only affects your Troop Master. Okay. I'm about to say, if this affects a Shadow Seer, not a Shadow Seer, Solitaire, holy crap. Holy crap. Even that's really good. Because, like, you Inferno Pistol one thing, you get into combat with 2 things. You're dealing 2 guaranteed wounds no matter what, which is intense by itself. So, damn. Okay, so let's see what ability that would be replacing, though. So that's on the Troop Master, the first one. By the way, Harlequins are a ridiculously easy army to actually get into, since all you need to do is buy the troop box 3 times and their jet bikes. And one of the Troop Masters you can actually make into a Shadow Seer if you have some extra bits. So this one's replacing one of his ability. Probably the Rising Crescendo. If I phase. Let's see. Your army has access to this role, which allows you utilize the data sheet and open up a new strategies. Wait, did they just gain these as well? Because if so, that's insane. Maybe I should collect the Harlequin army. They sound fun. Okay. Agent of the Bed. I'm just going to call it the bedroom. I need an agent of the bedroom right now. Anyway, while an enemy unit is within 6 inches of this model, subtract 1 from the attack characteristics of that model in that unit to a minimum of 1. This is an okay ability. We see this with Slaanesh quite a bit, so it's kind of funny that it's with the Harlequins of all things. But to be honest, it's just another buff, but I'm kind of whatever about it. Kind of whatever. All right, so the next one. In exchange for losing the Death is Not Enough ability, the Death Jester can take the Harvester of Torment. This means you'll absolutely mow down enemy units. So you are losing the Death Jester. You're losing the Harvest of Torment. I don't see in here. Take the Harvest. Oh, Death is not enough. If a model flees from a unit in the same turn that it has been attacked by this model, you can choose the first model that flees instead of your opponent choosing. Okay, so his worthless ability. And you replace it with, each time this model shoots, if the target unit contains 6 or more models, each successful hit roll scores 3 hits instead of 1. Holy crap! And you have an Assault 3 weapon. So you're dealing 9 hits to it. It is not cumulative with any other rules that cause additional hits. But it itself, successful hit rolls. A successful hit roll scores 3 hits instead of 1. Does that mean if you'd use the shuriken version of it and hit 3 times, you get 9 attacks? Because if so, that's ridiculously good. This guy has just been good regardless. Like, he is just good. But if you use it on the Shrieker, its strength takes AP -1 damage, but you'll hit 3 times. Each time an infantry model is slain by an attack made by this weapon, it suffers D3 mortal wounds, which means you can put a total of 12 damage on 1 unit. So, yeah. That's of course absolutely maxing out everything, but still that's kind of insane. Also, they're really fun to paint. Finally, the Solitaire can choose Unnatural Acrobatics in place of Blitz. Oh, this ability better be amazing. As an outcast keeps moving, they become almost impossible to hit. Each time an attack is made against this model, subtract 1 from the hit roll. No, you take the Blitz ability. Why would you get rid of the Blitz ability? The Blitz ability is what makes him insane. Huh. I wouldn't get rid of Blitz. I'm sorry. I don't think that one's worth it. Alright, and now we have some Stratagems, which is really cool to actually see different color Harlequins. I like the black and white ones. They look really nice. I painted up Veiled Path for a person a while back. I do want to try to take my hand at painting some of the more traditionalist colors and try that. Like, I do want to try to paint this, although I don't think my painting skills are anywhere near enough for that. So, let's see what we got for Stratagems. Okay, 1 CP. Use the stratagem at the end of your movement phase. Select one Harlequin infantry unit from your army not within 1 inch of any enemy model. Remove that unit from the battlefield at the end of your next movement phase. Set it up so it's 9 inches away. So, they become a Genestealer cult unit for a turn. They just pop away and pop back the next turn. It's really good. Especially if you don't want to use transports and still want to get a unit across the battlefield. Alright, 2 CP. Use the stratagem in the fight phase. The first time a Harlequin unit from your army is selected to fight with that phase, until the end of that phase, if a unit made a charge move this turn, add 1 to the damage characteristics of melee weapons made by that unit. Holy cow, that's ridiculous, especially if you're playing like troop heavy, or you put this on a solitaire, or any of your troop masters who's dealing a crap ton of damage. So, again, pretty good, but pretty squishy. So you do have to look out for these types of things. You are going to take some serious damage as you run in. But you do have a 4-up info save across your entire army. So you really just have to math it out. And the one thing about the Harlequins is it is not a forgiving army. If you start to lose, you lose. There is no coming back. So it's kind of an elitist army in that case. But, yeah. Enigmas of the Black Library. So, finally the Harlequins have cracked open yet another of their secret vaults within the Black Library to get at even more of the unique enigmas that lie within. Kigarath's Lament is a shuriken cannon that is said to contain the endless echoes of the Laughing God's howl from the moment of Slaaneish's birth. Okay, that's interesting. Like, just having that weapon around would be quite annoying. I mean, I'd probably put it back in the closet. I just imagine they just walked into the Black Library and they just like opened up one of the doors and they're like, hey, there's a shuriken cannon in here. Should we use it? Yeah, I guess so. All right. Do. It won't stop laughing. Yeah, put it back after you're done. Okay, so Kigarath's Lament. Now, I assume that this replaces one of the shuriken catapults that you have in the army. Secret vaults within the Black Library. Shuriken cannon. That's interesting that it's a shuriken cannon. I guess you can put it on a bike? Are they bringing back the Troopmaster on bike? Because that would be good. Before selecting a target, select one of the profiles above to make this attack with. Each time a model is slain by an attack made with the whale's profile of this weapon, it suffers D3 mortal wounds at the end of the turn. Wait, what? Is slain. Okay, so they do have to die. So it's good at killing infantry. Subtract 2 from the leadership characteristics of that unit. You know, the most useless thing in the entire edition. So damage 3 with the whale. Or you can do shuriken and get the 3 shots. It's just a good weapon. Combined with the Death Dusters, the new Harvester of Torment ability above. So yeah, it does stack with the crazy rules that we saw above. So you have a D3 plus scoring 3 additional hits. So again, that's a crazy amount of damage on top of how much damage it's already dealing, because this one's already dealing 9 damage plus 9 damage. This weapon is dealing 18 damage. This is going to kill an entire, like, Centurion squad in one turn. This one weapon, this one dude is going to kill a Centurion squad in a turn. And there's not much they can do about it because it's AP -3. They have a 6-up save if they're not in cover. And this works against aggressors or any elite heavy infantry that is currently dominating the meta. This will take it out pretty quickly, especially if it just kills one of them. All you need to do is just pick them off, and they will die. That's really good. I really like this weapon. And then any that survive, you can probably get in with your Solitaire and just tear them up. Because the Solitaire can't be overwatched, I think is one of the abilities in here. I might be wrong about that, so if I am, I do apologize. So that is the preview for now. And I have to say, I might pick me up some Harlequins soon. They're one of the few they're one of the few armies in this game that I currently don't own. In fact, they're part of the only faction that I don't own, which is the Eldar. I, for no reason, have no Eldar and have never wanted to collect them until this edition because I want to play Yvraine. I really like Yvraine. I really like her as a character. So with that all said, I want to know your thoughts about this. Are the Harlequins going to be tier 1 again? I remember at the beginning of the edition, they were really, really, really powerful. So I'm interested to see what we get out of this. And I want to know your comments in the comment section down below. Also, while you're down there, be sure to look at all the links in the description down below. I think it's over there. You can check me out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, and Patreon. Patreon goes a long way to helping out the channel, especially right now because I am out of work and I am not qualified for unemployment because I do this. And it's kind of been rough, I'm not going to lie. Yeah. So anyway, guys, I'm NornQueenAlexis. I love you guys. Bye.